Hey guys, this is Elite Silver. Welcomes you all in this video. In today's video, we're gonna talk about how to master in chess openings. We know that in a game of chess, a good opening is very important. But the question arises, what exactly is an opening? So, basically, there are three phases in the game of chess. The opening, the middle game, and the end game. Opening is the stage when you bring out your pieces and set them up in attacking position. The big mistake that the immature players make is that they are trying to memorize the opening moves. But that is not the right way to go about it. Rather than memorizing, what we need to focus on is the basic idea and principles behind a good solid opening. So, what is the basic idea in an opening? It's very simple. You need to bring out all your pieces into play before launching an attack and prevent your opponent from doing the same. In order to devise a good opening strategy, we need to keep in mind some very important principles. These are the absolute essential tips you need to know before starting off your chess journey. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Principle number 1: develop your pieces. This is the most important rule and the foundation of your chess strategy. Like I mentioned earlier, the idea is to use your entire army. Therefore, piece development is very important. You need to open your game and move your pieces to active squares from where they can control maximum number of squares. It is advisable to develop your minor pieces first, that is your knights and bishops, because it is generally easier to figure out the active squares for these pieces earlier in the game. Principle number 2: occupy the center. So why the center is so important? It's simply because a piece in the center controls more squares than it could cover by sitting in the corner. Let's take the knight for example. This knight in the center controls 8 squares and it has 8 possible moves. Whereas sitting on the corner, it's controlling only 2 squares and it has only 2 possible moves. The same principle can be applied to other pieces also. Thus, the opening therefore always going to be a fight for the center. Principle number 3: don't bring out your queen too early. I have seen that there is always a temptation amongst amateur players to bring out their queen early. They are trying to play those glowly moves and try to checkmate your opponent in some of the well-known types and ways like these. While this trick works against inexperienced and new players, but against seasoned player, this strategy will definitely backfire. Queen is very important piece, hence it can be easily threatened by pawn and other minor pieces. It is therefore advisable to bring out a queen only after developing your knights and bishops. Principle number 4: castle as soon as possible. Castling is generally the last stage in an opening. The king is precious and it is vulnerable in the center. Therefore, it needs to be shielded. Castling therefore has a double advantage. Your king is tucked aside into safety behind the pawns and your rooks are interconnected and are ready to attack. Keep in mind that if your kings or rook move, you cannot castle. So you need to try and castle as soon as possible. So these are the general guidelines that you must keep in mind before making your opening moves. You can obviously deviate a little bit if the situation demands, but more or less this should be your opening strategy while facing high rated players. I am sure these opening principles will take your game to the next level. So that's all for today guys. If you have any doubt or any thoughts to share, feel free to post them in the comment section below. If you found this video useful, subscribe the channel for more video like this. Let's meet in the next video. Keep playing.